Chapter 6. The Pink Paper. The pen is a fearless warrior who never backs away from propagating the truth. R.S. Sh is my favorite writer. She writes, "The worst thing about the world is the most beloved to you." One of her famous characters uttered once, "Such dreams that beat into the heart of our eyes are dangerous. They make you put your prestige at the stake as well." This dialogue rings so true to my coal eyes, and I would dream of a beautiful wish, so much so that the blackness of the coal was about to smudge my face. Many easily pronounce that sins turn your aura black, but who decides the distinction between mistake and sin? We live in a society where every flowery thing is attributed to sin, and every complicated act is considered to be pious. Everyone thinks that they know best. No one wastes time considering the situation in which the act of so-called sin was committed. People prefer the waste of lives and dreams over it. My life was not wasted. However, my integrity was questioned in the court of my father for a while. Even a drop of black ink is enough to stain the whitest whites of memories that rightly happened. However, I sat down in solitude and reminisced about my past. My eyes teared at the memory of this incident. What I did was an honest mistake, but it was considered a sin. And that was the saddest part about this memory. Poets write, "Can you call that youth trash, which was once scandal-free?" This tale of youth would be one of a kind, and it started without its main characters knowing that they played a major role. The memory of this story is enough to tear my eyes and spread my smile across my lips, even though I'm not proud of it. One such holiday was when I came home drenched in perspiration after wasting the entire day roaming about the alleys with my friends. Amma John, who was seated on her throne, called me and informed me that I was being called by my father. "Is everything all right? My results are not due yet." I was scared. Amma John shrugged her shoulders and kept chewing her betel leaf. I mustered all the courage and went to Abba John's room. The door stood ajar. "Assalamu alaikum, Abba." I spoke timidly. "We will carry on the greeting later, son. Why don't you step in and enlighten me about this?" He pointed at something in his hands. It was a pink paper, and its scent was filling up the entire room. The corners of the paper were ornate, with hearts and arrows piercing them. It was a piece of evidence that someone wished to share her heart with me. The paper was an indication that someone loved me, and in a different situation, I might have danced my heart out. But seeing the paper and the pierced hearts in Abba John's hands, I felt if the love of the story was destined to die before it was born properly. I had no such experience of hearing, and this was a first. I had no idea how to respond to Abba John. I am certain that the sender had bathed the paper in perfume, so much so that the entire scent was absorbed by it. What an extravagant sender! Who wastes an entire Arabic perfume bottle on a love letter? Meanwhile, I was so occupied with calculating the ounces of perfume spent that I had completely forgotten where I was standing. "Why are you standing tight-lipped like a girl? Is your silence an admission of this sin?" Abba John roared. I shook my head immediately. "Then why don't you speak? Why don't you speak up what this is?" he asked me again. What? I shuddered. It was impossible for me to utter a word properly in Abba John's presence anyway, and today, with the pink paper in his hands, I lost my crumbling leftover confidence. "You are my son, so act as one. Don't pretend to be my father. Tell me the truth. Who is this girl?" Abba John insisted. "Girl? Which girl?" I jumped as if a scorpion had stung me. "The same girl who has sent you this shameless confession of love," Abba John fumed. Abba John brought the paper near me, and I could read the text now. "My love is far away, and that makes my heart restless. shone upon the top of the pink paper. Embarrassment burned my whole body, and I stared at the ground. "Now do you remember?" Abba John taunted. No, I don't know who this is and why this has been sent to me. I immediately defended myself. Wow, who said Dilip Kumar is the best actor? I can see one better than him in front of my eyes now. Abba John was not ready to believe my piety. I am speaking the truth, Baba. This is a mistake. I do not know anyone. I spoke timidly. Betya, you are young, and mistakes are part of being young. You claim this to be a mistake, but the sender was also a mistake. I believe to write down Salman Akbar under every heart she has drawn. Abba John tried to burn me down with his stare. Abba John, I don't know how to make you believe the truth. I looked down. Son, these are gray hairs on my head of experience. These were not colored by the merciless of the sun. I remember admitting to you to the College of Commerce, not an acting institute, so stop your drama and start blurting out the truth now. Abba John's voice shook the walls this time. I swear, Abba, I have no idea. I tried to reason with him. Love was a contagious disease for my family, and I belonged to a healthy clan. I never thought I would have such an experience in my life. According to our family values, anyone who fell into this trap was doomed, and I knew fairly well, so who would choose death? None of my brothers ever attempted this act of treason, so why would I? This pink paper, for Abba John, reeked of rebellion. For him, rebels were made to die. I, on the other hand, had always wanted to live and wanted to go to America. Bahi John, you know how I dream of going to America. Why will I get involved in anything else otherwise? I tried to get the support of my elder brother, who stood next to Abba John like a lifeless dummy. Abba John, I think Salman is right. Whenever I visit college, all his teachers praise him. I think someone from his friends has tried to play a prank on him. He tried to help me. Salahuddin, I am well aware that you love him a lot, but if you think that this is enough to cover up his sins, you are wrong. Abba John scolded him. Abba's face was red and ripe as a tomato. Seeing his rage and my brother's silence, I felt ashamed. I wished that the earth would tear open and I would bury myself instantly. Abba John, I have never lied to you. You can inquire. I promise I have no idea who sent this and why. I tried for the last time. I have sisters in my home. Why would I do that to someone else's sister? I pray to the Almighty that you are speaking the truth, because if it is not the case, Salman Akbar, you will regret it. I am sending you to the outside world to learn and earn a name for the family, and I hope you would never malign that, he concluded. Abba John would take someone's name when he was extremely angry. Today, it was clear that he was hurt. This incident extremely saddened me, yet the story remained to be told. In some days, the results of this incident was announced, and I was in for a surprise. It was sad for me because the decision was pronounced to be my punishment, and that showed that the accused was considered to be a sinner. I belonged to a tribe of men whose heartbeats are in the hands of their ancestors. They decide our fates and destinies. In our family, marriage meant compelling two absolutely happy individuals to live together in a room forcefully, so that happiness is lost forever. It was not a chapter of my life. It was a cruel, barbaric act, if you ask me. I belonged to the same clan and was destined to meet the same fate. Like my elder brother, my fate was decided without my wish. My brother's sister-in-law was to share the rest of the punishment with me, and it was decided. My parents were contented that now their son was set, even though his heart was upset. I couldn't utter a word, like those hundreds of men and women who are victims of moral values and traditions. Baya was happy at my submission and patted me on my back for my wise reaction. I also made it clear that my destination had always been America, and even this marriage would not be able to dissuade me from that. For me, this marriage was a chance that everything could go wrong, so I was not very positive about it. Everyone in my family was very busy preparing for the engagement. They spent their days shopping and planning for the menu. To avoid all of this uninvited chaos, I spent most of my time in Bayaz's electric shop at Sadar.